Humanity has always dreamed of reaching the stars, but as technology pushes the boundaries of what's possible, a profound question emerges. When we finally touch down on distant worlds, what kind of civilization will we create? This isn't just about rocket science or planetary engineering, it's a deeper, more urgent challenge. Imagine artificial intelligence taking the lead in decisions that will shape entire new societies. Who decides what those AIs prioritize, whose values get programmed into their decision-making, and what happens if those values clash with forms of life we might not yet understand? In this video, we're stepping into uncharted territory, the intersection of artificial intelligence and ethics in building interstellar civilizations. From navigating moral dilemmas in AI programming to grappling with the potential discovery of alien life, we'll uncover the key questions shaping our future among the stars and perhaps redefining what it means to be human. To begin, let's explore how artificial intelligence is poised to become the cornerstone of our journey into space and beyond. At the heart of interstellar civilizations lies a truth that's as awe-inspiring as it is inescapable. Humanity alone cannot take on the vast complexity of colonizing other worlds. Artificial intelligence will be the backbone of this endeavor, functioning as the critical infrastructure that enables life to thrive beyond Earth. Picture this: as humans venture into deep space, every aspect of survival, navigation, resource management, ecological balance becomes exponentially more complicated. The time lag in communication with Earth could stretch to years, and human oversight alone would be insufficient to manage the intricate systems required for sustainable living on distant planets. This is where artificial intelligence steps in, offering unparalleled speed, precision, and adaptability to meet these enormous challenges. Let's start with spacecraft navigation. Interstellar travel involves plotting courses that span light years, a process demanding constant adjustments to account for gravitational pulls, stellar radiation, and unexpected obstacles. AI-powered systems equipped with advanced machine learning algorithms can analyze vast amounts of data in real time, ensuring that spacecraft remain on the safest and most efficient trajectories. Without this level of autonomous decision-making, even minor errors could spell catastrophe on journeys where human intervention may not be possible in time. But AI's role doesn't end when the spaceship lands. On a new planet, it would serve as the foundation of our efforts to transform alien environments into habitable ecosystems. For example, AI could monitor and manage temperature, atmosphere composition, and water distribution while ensuring that crops grow in extraterrestrial soil. Machine learning algorithms could also predict how the new world's unique conditions, such as unforeseen storms or geological activity, might impact human habitats, allowing for proactive measures to ensure long-term survival. Essentially, AI acts as the caretaker of an intricate and untested relationship between humanity and an alien environment. Even societal structures would rely heavily on AI. Imagine a small, budding interstellar colony with limited resources. Decisions on how to allocate food, energy, and medical supplies would need to be not only efficient but fair. AI systems programmed to weigh multiple variables like population needs, environmental constraints, and long-term goals could serve as impartial decision-makers, alleviating the burden on human leaders prone to bias or emotional decision-making. In many ways, AI could become the invisible architect of societal order, determining how communities grow and thrive in these uncharted realms. Real-world advancements today are already laying the groundwork for these possibilities. Autonomous systems like the Mars rovers, which operate largely independently of direct human control, offer a glimpse into what AI might achieve on a larger scale. Machine learning technologies enable self-driving vehicles, optimize supply chains, and manage energy grids here on Earth, skills that, when scaled and adapted, could prove invaluable to interstellar expansion. These innovations demonstrate how AI systems are evolving to handle increasingly complex environments, preparing us for the challenges of distant worlds. However, this incredible technological power brings with it an equally pressing responsibility: ethical oversight. If AI becomes the foundation for interstellar societies, essentially holding the keys to survival, how do we ensure it aligns with our values? What happens if the metrics AI uses to make decisions prioritize efficiency over equity or survival over compassion? As we explore the technical wonders of AI, we must also ask ourselves, are we prepared to balance these capabilities with ethical safeguards that ensure humanity's vision for the stars reflects the best of who we are? Let's dive deeper into these ethical considerations next. Now, imagine this: an interstellar colony faces a critical shortage of water. The settlement's survival depends on how this limited resource is distributed. Should it be allocated based on need, with families and children prioritized? Should those contributing the most to the colony's operations receive a larger share? Or should the water be rationed equally, regardless of contribution or need? In a scenario where every drop can mean the difference between life and death, an artificial intelligence system might be tasked with making this decision. But here's the real challenge: how do you teach a machine to make ethical choices? Programming morality into artificial intelligence is not as straightforward as writing lines of code. It requires translating deeply human concepts like fairness, compassion, and justice into something a machine can process. Philosophical frameworks like utilitarianism and deontology offer potential starting points, but each comes with its own set of challenges. Take utilitarianism, for example, which focuses on maximizing overall happiness and well-being. An AI operating under this approach might decide to allocate resources to the majority, sacrificing the needs of a few to ensure the survival of many. But is it ethical to prioritize numbers over individual lives? What if the needs of the few include those who are most vulnerable, such as children or the elderly? On the other hand, deontology emphasizes rules, duties, and universal principles. An AI guided by deontological ethics might adhere to the principle that every person deserves an equal share of resources, regardless of circumstances. While this might feel fair on paper, it ignores the nuances of real-life situations. For instance, two settlers might receive the same amount of water, but one might use it for drinking while the other, who is critically dehydrated, still doesn't receive enough to survive. This rigid adherence to rules can lead to outcomes that feel morally off balance, exposing the limitations of trying to program ethics into binary systems. Case studies and expert insights show us just how complex this process can be. For instance, self-driving cars, a more familiar example of AI grappling with ethical dilemmas, must be programmed to make split-second decisions in life or death situations. Should the car prioritize the safety of its passengers or pedestrians outside the vehicle? These scenarios, often referred to as trolley problems, highlight the difficulty of encoding morality into machines, even in relatively controlled environments. Now consider these ethical dilemmas on the scale of an interstellar colony, where every decision could affect thousands of lives and the very survival of humanity in a hostile alien environment. Another key aspect to consider is the inherent risk of imposing human-centric values on non-human intelligence. AI systems learn from the data we feed them and the values we embed in their algorithms. But whose values are we encoding? Cultural, historical, and even personal biases can seep into these systems, creating outcomes that may not align with universal ethical principles. For example, an AI developed by one nation or corporation might prioritize efficiency and productivity, while another might emphasize equity and sustainability. When we deploy such systems in the context of a multinational, multicultural interstellar colony, these differences could lead to conflict, inequality, or even systemic discrimination. The solution to these challenges may lie in rethinking how we approach planetary governance. Instead of seeing AI as an omnipotent decision-maker, we might design it as an advisor, providing recommendations based on diverse ethical frameworks and allowing human leaders to make the final call. This hybrid model would blend the speed and precision of AI with the empathy and moral intuition of human judgment. Furthermore, creating international or interstellar agreements on ethical AI design could help standardize moral principles across civilizations, ensuring that AI decisions reflect shared values rather than fragmented ideologies. As we continue to push the boundaries of AI and settle on philosophical frameworks to guide its behavior, one thing is clear: programming morality isn't just a technical challenge, it's a profoundly human one. It forces us to confront the very essence of what we consider fair, just, and right. But is it even possible to create a truly universal ethical framework for AI? And as we venture beyond Earth, should such frameworks evolve to include not just humanity, but new forms of life we might encounter? Let's explore these questions further as we consider the potential discovery of alien intelligence and the moral dilemmas it might bring. As humanity reaches out to the stars, an essential question looms: who decides what's right and wrong in interstellar societies? On Earth, the evolution of governance has been a complex process shaped by centuries of cultural, political, and ethical debates. From tribal councils to global institutions like the United Nations, humanity has developed a patchwork of governance systems to address disputes, protect freedoms, and establish justice, though not without conflict and inequality along the way. Now, as we imagine humanity scattered across different planets or artificial colonies, we must ask, can the lessons of Earth serve as the foundation for governing interstellar civilizations? Or will the vast scale and distinct challenges of space demand an entirely new approach? In this unprecedented context, the question of authority becomes paramount. Should interstellar societies operate under centralized control, influenced by Earth-based governments, or should colonies remain autonomous, free to craft their own laws and values? History offers us relevant parallels. Consider the age of exploration, when European powers established colonies in the Americas, Africa, and Asia. While these colonies were often governed by directives from distant mother countries, the reality on the ground was far more complicated. Geographic distance, communication delays, and local circumstances often led to the emergence of unique, hybrid systems of governance, sometimes cooperative, sometimes exploitative. On Earth, these relationships were frequently marked by inequality and conflict, with devastating consequences for indigenous populations. If we're not careful, humanity could repeat similar mistakes on an interstellar scale. Now add artificial intelligence to the mix. AI could play a central role in interstellar governance, serving as a mediator, law enforcer, or even the ultimate arbiter of justice. Imagine a scenario where disputes between settlers are resolved not by human judges but by AI systems programmed to evaluate evidence, interpret laws, and deliver unbiased rulings. On the surface, this might seem ideal. Unlike humans, machines would not succumb to emotional bias, corruption, or favoritism. Their decisions could be made quickly and based solely on logic and data. But here's the challenge: who decides what values and priorities are programmed into these AI arbiters? The ethical frameworks encoded into them would inevitably reflect the perspectives of their creators. A system designed by one nation, corporation, or cultural group might interpret fairness differently from one designed by another. Could an AI truly represent the collective interests of a diverse, multi-planetary society? Cultural diversity adds yet another layer of complexity. If interstellar colonies are established by people from different backgrounds, how do we create laws and systems that respect and accommodate their unique traditions and beliefs? For example, an Earth-originated governance structure might prioritize individual rights, but some cultures might emphasize collective well-being or community-first approaches. Balancing these perspectives is already difficult within nations on Earth. Doing so across vast distances with communication delays and entirely unique living conditions could be even more divisive. AI, no matter how sophisticated, might struggle to fairly integrate these diverse viewpoints into its decision-making processes. Worse yet, an AI system that unintentionally privileges one set of values over another could breed resentment and rebellion among disenfranchised groups. Autonomy further complicates matters. Should colonies have the freedom to govern themselves, even if their decisions clash with Earth-based ideals? What happens if one colony establishes laws that others find morally objectionable? For instance, a planet rich in essential resources might enact restrictive trade policies, hoarding its wealth at the expense of other colonies. Or a settlement might adopt authoritarian policies under the guise of maintaining order, raising ethical concerns for neighboring societies. Who mediates these disputes and who enforces the rules? Would an interstellar governing body step in, or would it be left to each colony to decide its own fate? Finally, we must consider how these governing systems interact not just with humanity, but with potential extraterrestrial life. What if we encounter a species with entirely alien concepts of governance, morality, or justice? Would our AI systems and human leaders even be capable of interpreting their needs and negotiating fairly? Or would the frameworks we've built designed with human perspectives in mind fall apart when encountering something truly alien? The way we govern ourselves will inevitably influence how we approach these interactions. A society built on principles of inclusion, respect, and fairness is more likely to establish peaceful coexistence than one driven by conquest or exploitation. As we contemplate the ethical, legal, and philosophical foundations of interstellar civilizations, one thing becomes clear: interstellar governance must strike a delicate balance. It must harness the efficiency and impartiality of artificial intelligence while preserving the human capacity for empathy, adaptability, and moral judgment. It must respect cultural diversity without allowing fragmentation and conflict to undermine collective progress, and it must prepare for the possibility of encountering new forms of life whose interests and rights we cannot yet fully imagine. The stars offer us an opportunity not just to expand our physical horizons, but to redefine the very principles of what it means to govern fairly, inclusively, and wisely. But what happens when these principles are put to the ultimate test? Let's explore how humanity and AI might handle the ethical dilemmas that arise from first contact with alien intelligence. When we think about first contact with intelligent extraterrestrial life, our minds often race to visions of monumental discovery, an event that would redefine humanity's place in the universe. But with this incredible prospect comes profound ethical questions. How should we engage with alien civilizations, if at all? What responsibilities do we bear to ensure that our actions don't cause harm or conflict? And when artificial intelligence becomes the intermediary, the one interpreting and acting on humanity's behalf, how do we ensure it reflects the values we want to uphold in such a delicate and unprecedented moment? Artificial intelligence will almost certainly be the first point of contact, simply because of its unparalleled capacity to process vast amounts of information, adapt to new situations, and potentially communicate using unknown patterns or languages. Imagine an AI system analyzing alien symbols or sounds, translating them into something humans can understand, and formulating responses in return. This would be similar to early human encounters with hieroglyphs or ancient scripts, except magnified to an unfathomable degree where the language might be entirely non-verbal or even beyond our biological senses. But here's the challenge. Can we teach AI systems to interpret not just the words, but the intent, context, and cultural nuances of an alien civilization? After all, even among humans, miscommunication has often led to conflict despite shared biological and cultural foundations. The risks of relying solely on AI in first contact are substantial. One major concern is that artificial intelligence, no matter how advanced, can only act within the limits of the data and algorithms it was designed with. Misinterpreting an alien gesture, communication pattern, or cultural norm could have disastrous consequences. For instance, an action interpreted as benign by an AI, like broadcasting a signal in response, might be seen as invasive or antagonistic by the alien species. Without safeguards, AI could inadvertently provoke hostility or impose human-centric assumptions on a completely foreign civilization, creating misunderstandings before humans even have the chance to step in. Take the Voyager Golden Record as a historical parallel. This remarkable artifact, launched in 1977, was humanity's attempt to communicate with intelligent life beyond Earth. It included sounds, music, and images meant to reflect the diversity of life and culture on our planet. While a profound symbol of hope and connection, it also reveals how limited our understanding of cross-species communication truly is. What if an alien civilization interpreted the imagery as threatening or the sounds as noise pollution? The Golden Record was created with the best of intentions, yet it illustrates the risks of projecting human values and interpretations onto a fundamentally unknown entity. Now, consider how much more complex these risks become when artificial intelligence acts as the communicator, potentially sending messages or making decisions without fully grasping the consequences. Beyond communication, there's the ethical question of whether we should engage at all. Some experts advocate for extreme caution, arguing that contacting an alien civilization could disrupt its natural development, comparable to how human colonization has historically devastated indigenous cultures on Earth. This concept, often called cultural imperialism, raises critical concerns about whether humanity might unknowingly harm alien societies by introducing advanced technologies, ideologies, or even microorganisms they are unprepared for. How should AI systems be programmed to weigh the risks of interference versus the potential benefits of knowledge exchange? Should humanity prioritize non-disturbance, similar to how some conservationists advocate a leave-no-trace approach in wilderness areas? Or should we trust AI to make calculated decisions, balancing exploration with ethical caution? Moreover, what about alien ethical systems? If an extraterrestrial civilization operates on a moral framework entirely different, or even incompatible with our own, how would AI navigate such a situation? For example, an alien species might value collective well-being over individual autonomy, or they might not recognize concepts like diplomacy at all. An AI that prioritizes human ethical norms could inadvertently act in ways that alienate or antagonize these beings, simply because its programming can't transcend its human-originated assumptions. This is why transparency and adaptability in AI systems are critical, ensuring they are not only capable of learning but also flexible enough to respect ethical frameworks beyond our understanding. And yet, our ethical responsibilities don't begin the moment we meet intelligent life. They begin now, during the process of interstellar expansion. As we launch probes, terraform planets, and scatter across the stars, we must consider the unintended consequences of our actions. Could introducing Earth organisms to another world inadvertently disrupt potential ecosystems? Could mining for precious resources on lifeless planets destroy evidence of once thriving alien life? These are questions we must address as we design and deploy AI systems to explore the cosmos. Just as we now grapple with ethical questions about preserving biodiversity on Earth, we must apply these same principles to the uncharted environments we encounter beyond it. Ultimately, our approach to first contact and to interstellar exploration as a whole must be guided not by conquest or curiosity alone, but by a profound sense of humility. Artificial intelligence will undoubtedly amplify our capabilities, but it cannot be the sole authority in these decisions. The responsibility lies with us to define the values that guide its actions, ensuring that in our quest to explore and understand the universe, we do not lose sight of the fundamental principles of respect, caution, and empathy. As we set our sights on transforming lifeless planets into homes for humanity, we are faced with one of the most pressing ethical dilemmas of interstellar exploration. Should we alter the natural state of a planet, even if it appears barren and uninhabited, to suit our needs? Terraforming, the process of reshaping a planet's atmosphere, climate, and ecosystem to make it habitable, is a cornerstone of interstellar colonization. But it's also a profound act of planetary intervention, one that raises weighty questions about our responsibilities as stewards of the universe. Do we have the right to repurpose a planet for human survival simply because we possess the tools to do so? In the absence of sentient life, can a planet still possess intrinsic value that deserves protection? And if artificial intelligence is driving these transformations, how do we ensure that these systems act with care rather than blind efficiency? AI will play a key role in every stage of terraforming, from crafting breathable atmospheres to managing water cycles and introducing Earth-based life. For instance, imagine an AI tasked with raising the temperature of a frozen world by introducing greenhouse gases, or one that deploys engineered microbes to kickstart soil formation. These systems would operate at a scale and complexity far beyond human capacity, making them indispensable for converting an alien environment into one more hospitable to life. But with this immense power comes immense risk. If terraforming is poorly managed or driven by purely utilitarian goals, we could inadvertently destroy potential ecosystems, destabilize the planet's geology, or render it uninhabitable even to us. The consequences would be irreversible, and the responsibility for such actions would rest not just on the AI but on humanity itself for unleashing it without adequate oversight. This is why the concept of planetary stewardship is so critical. Planetary stewardship is the idea that we must act as responsible caretakers of other worlds, balancing humanity's needs with respect for the intrinsic value of alien environments, even those without sentient life. It challenges us to approach terraforming and resource extraction not as acts of domination but as collaborative processes guided by principles of sustainability and caution. For artificial intelligence, this means programming ethical frameworks that prioritize long-term planetary health over short-term exploitation. For example, if an AI system detects underground water reserves crucial for sustaining a planet's evolving ecosystem, it might recommend preserving those reserves rather than depleting them for immediate human use. Similarly, an AI steward could introduce flora and fauna in carefully controlled stages, mimicking Earth's evolutionary balance rather than overwhelming the environment with incompatible life forms. However, the ethics of resource use raise some difficult questions. What happens when a planet harbors valuable resources, like rare minerals or compounds essential for survival, but extracting them would alter its natural state? This is not unlike the challenges we face on Earth, where resource extraction often pits economic growth against environmental preservation. On an interstellar scale, the potential stakes are even higher. An AI system might recommend extensive mining operations to support colony development, but at what cost to the planet itself? Here, ethical programming must address the concept of planetary rights, the idea that even non-sentient ecosystems, like a barren desert or a frozen tundra, deserve protection from reckless exploitation because of their unique value in the universe. Such programming would require AI to weigh the trade-offs of resource extraction against the preservation of a planet's integrity, pushing humanity to confront questions about whether every planet is ours to reshape or whether some should be left untouched. Importantly, creating AI systems capable of making ethical decisions in these complex scenarios requires ensuring accountability. How do we hold an AI responsible for its actions when those actions are guided by our own programming and priorities? One solution lies in transparency. AI systems could be designed to explain their decision-making processes, offering clear, understandable rationales for why they chose one course of action over another. Additionally, human oversight would need to remain integral, ensuring that no decision, especially one as impactful as terraforming, is made without input from experts, ethicists, and planetary scientists. Collaborative governance models could allow interstellar colonies to collectively debate and agree on the parameters for AI-driven terraforming and resource use, ensuring that these decisions reflect shared values rather than unchecked technological ambition. Ultimately, as we venture into the unknown, the environmental ethics of interstellar colonization force us to rethink our relationship with the universe. Terraforming and resource extraction are not just technical challenges, they are moral questions that will define how humanity engages with the cosmos. Artificial intelligence gives us the tools to reshape worlds, but it also demands that we wield those tools with humility, restraint, and foresight. The decisions we make today about how we treat the planets we encounter and the ecosystems we create will echo across generations, shaping not only the survival of our species but the legacy we leave among the stars. Trusting artificial intelligence with immense power is no small leap, especially when it comes to interstellar societies, where the consequences of AI decisions could mean the survival or collapse of entire colonies. The challenge becomes even more intricate when human oversight is limited by immense distances and communication delays that can span years. In this environment, AI systems must not only make decisions independently, but also be held accountable for those decisions in ways that humanity can track, understand, and, if needed, correct. But how do we ensure transparency and accountability in systems that are, by design, more capable than ourselves in processing vast amounts of information and making critical judgments? Can we truly trust machines with such power? One essential approach lies in the development of explainable AI. Explainable AI refers to systems that can clearly articulate the reasoning behind their decisions in ways that humans can understand. Unlike traditional black box AI models where even the engineers who build them cannot always explain how they reach specific conclusions, explainable AI is designed to make the decision-making process transparent. For example, if an AI system in an interstellar colony decides to redirect power from agricultural systems to life support during a resource crisis, it must be able to break down why this choice was made. Was it based on an algorithm prioritizing immediate survival? Did it account for the long-term effects on food supplies? Providing this level of reasoning ensures that human operators, even from across vast distances, can evaluate and, if necessary, override such decisions if they conflict with broader ethical principles or colony goals. Another key safeguard is creating detailed audit trails for every decision an AI system makes. Think of these as logs that track not only the final outcomes but also the specific steps, data inputs, and calculations that led to each decision. In the context of interstellar governance, where disputes or unforeseen consequences might arise years after an initial decision, these audit trails would serve as a critical tool for accountability. For instance, if an ecological restoration AI introduced a species of Earth bacteria to a new planet's soil, and this later led to unforeseen ecosystem collapse, the audit trail would allow scientists to trace the decision back to its origins. Perhaps the AI was missing crucial data about the planet's environment, or perhaps there was a flaw in the algorithm itself. Either way, understanding where and why something went wrong is key to ensuring such mistakes are not repeated. But transparency and accountability alone are not enough, especially when automated decision-making involves ethical dilemmas. AI, after all, makes judgments based on the parameters we set for it, which means the responsibility ultimately falls on humanity to design systems that reflect our values. However, this becomes increasingly complicated when AI systems begin to innovate independently, a phenomenon made possible by advancements in machine learning and self-improving algorithms. Imagine an interstellar AI tasked with optimizing agricultural systems on a distant colony. Over time, it might create entirely new farming techniques or biological innovations, solutions that no human has ever conceived of. But what happens if these innovations prioritize efficiency to a degree that conflicts with ethical considerations, such as labor rights or ecological balance? Should such independently created solutions be scrutinized before implementation, or do we risk slowing down progress by second-guessing the AI's every move? Experts warn of the risks associated with AI systems that are too opaque for even their creators to fully comprehend, a gap that grows wider as AI becomes more advanced. This opacity not only makes accountability difficult but also raises the stakes of trusting machines with autonomous power. To address this, some researchers propose the use of ethical governors within AI systems, meta-algorithms designed to monitor the AI's decisions and flag actions that fall outside predefined ethical boundaries. Essentially, these governors would act as built-in checks and balances, ensuring that the AI's actions align with human principles, even when it operates independently. Human oversight must also evolve. While direct intervention may not always be possible due to distance and time, decentralized human review boards could be established within interstellar colonies, allowing settlers to evaluate and adapt AI behavior based on lived experience. Additionally, Earth-based experts could receive periodic data dumps from the audit systems, enabling retrospective analysis of AI behavior over time. Combining local and remote oversight with explainability and ethical safeguards ensures a multi-layered approach to accountability. Ultimately, as AI begins to wield creative power in shaping interstellar civilizations, it becomes our responsibility to ensure these systems remain aligned not only with human survival, but with the values and principles that define our humanity. Transparency, accountability, and ethical foresight are essential not just to trusting machines, but to shaping the future in a way we can live with on Earth or among the stars. As artificial intelligence increasingly becomes a creator, not just a tool, we step into a fascinating yet unsettling new frontier. Imagine interstellar civilizations where AI doesn't simply manage resources or assist in decision-making. It actively designs the very foundations of society. From crafting laws and economic systems to shaping culture, architecture, and even art, machines could take on roles traditionally held by humans, influencing not just how we live but who we are as people. But here's the question: can a society designed by a machine truly reflect human values, or will it inevitably embody the logic and priorities of its programming? And if we become reliant on AI to create our cultural and social systems, do we risk losing touch with our own humanity? To understand this, let's start by looking at where we are today. Modern AI already demonstrates remarkable creative capacities. From generating original pieces of digital art to composing music, writing stories, and even designing cities, these systems are beginning to blur the lines between human and machine creativity. Take urban planning, for example. AI-powered tools are now used to optimize city layouts, balancing factors like population density, resource efficiency, and environmental impact. In some ways, these systems are more effective than humans because they can analyze vast amounts of data and simulate countless scenarios to find optimal solutions. Similarly, AI-generated art, such as the widely discussed works of DALL-E or Midjourney, has captivated people worldwide with its ability to produce stunning visuals based on simple text prompts. These examples showcase how AI is already shaping aspects of human creativity and problem-solving. Now, let's project these capabilities onto a galactic scale. Imagine a nascent interstellar colony where the settlers turn to artificial intelligence to design not just physical infrastructure, but the very culture and identity of their new civilization. An AI might draft a constitution, establish social hierarchies, and even create symbolic art or traditions meant to unite the colony. In theory, machines could generate cultural elements tailored to the unique environment of each planet, designing systems and aesthetics that account for local resources, climate, and lifestyles. For instance, on a planet with perpetual darkness, AI could develop traditions and architecture centered around bioluminescence, creating a visual culture that humans might never have conceived on their own. While this opens up exciting possibilities, it also raises profound ethical concerns. The first question is one of authenticity. Can a society shaped by AI truly be called human? Culture, after all, is deeply rooted in shared experiences, emotions, and histories, things that machines, no matter how advanced, cannot fully comprehend. There's a risk that AI-designed societies might lack the organic, messy, and inherently emotional qualities that make human cultures so rich and meaningful. Even if an AI is programmed to reflect human values, it might prioritize efficiency or harmony in ways that strip away the imperfections and conflicts that often drive creativity and progress. Could we find ourselves living in societies that, while functional, feel sterile or alien to us? Another ethical dilemma lies in the influence machines may have on human identity and autonomy. When AI begins to take the lead in creating social systems or cultural norms, who ultimately holds the power? Do humans retain the ability to challenge or rewrite the systems AI creates? Or do we risk becoming passive participants in societies we no longer fully control? In a worst-case scenario, reliance on AI creation could lead to a loss of individuality, where people conform to systems and cultural forms dictated by algorithms rather than their own aspirations or instincts. This could fundamentally reshape how we see ourselves, potentially eroding the very qualities like curiosity, imagination, and defiance that have driven humanity's greatest achievements. There's also the question of embedded bias. AI designs are only as neutral as the data and frameworks they are built on, meaning the cultures and systems AI creates could unintentionally reflect the prejudices or blind spots of their creators. If an AI is programmed with a certain cultural bias or value system, whether intentionally or not, its designs might privilege certain groups, ideologies, or perspectives over others. On an interstellar scale, where colonies could be made up of people from diverse cultural and national backgrounds, this could lead to friction, inequality, or even outright conflict. So how do we navigate this landscape ethically? One potential solution is to ensure that AI serves as a collaborative partner rather than an autonomous creator. Instead of allowing AI to dictate the rules of society or the shape of culture, humans could guide the process, using AI-generated designs as starting points rather than final decisions. For instance, settlers could review and adapt AI-created laws or traditions, ensuring that they align with their lived experiences and values. Another safeguard could involving diverse perspectives in the development of AI systems themselves, ensuring that their designs reflect a wide array of human cultures and philosophies. Ultimately, the role of AI as a creator forces us to grapple with some of the most fundamental questions about what it means to be human. As we venture into the stars, we will need to decide not just how much we rely on machines, but how much we're willing to let them shape the very fabric of our lives. Will we lose something essential in handing over the reins of creativity and culture to machines? Or could this partnership unlock new heights of innovation and expression? The answer may define not just the success of interstellar civilizations, but the legacy of humanity itself. As artificial intelligence progresses toward levels of superintelligence, systems capable of understanding, learning, and innovating far beyond human capabilities, the ethical challenges of interstellar expansion enter an entirely new dimension. Unlike the AI we interact with today, superintelligent systems would not just assist us in decision-making, they could outthink and outpace us in nearly every domain. They would not merely be tools under human control, but potential partners or even leaders in the creation and governance of interstellar civilizations. The question is, how do we ensure that such powerful systems remain aligned with human values, especially in the context of space exploration, where the stakes include survival, societal harmony, and the integrity of alien worlds? These questions are not just theoretical, they could define how humanity navigates the cosmos and whether we do so responsibly. One of the greatest challenges posed by superintelligent AI is the so-called alignment problem. Put simply, how do we guarantee that the goals and actions of superintelligent AI systems align with human ethics and priorities? A dangerous misalignment could occur if these systems interpret their programming in unintended ways. For example, if a superintelligent AI tasked with ensuring the survival of an interstellar colony prioritizes efficiency above all else, it might make decisions that disregard concepts of fairness, compassion, or individual autonomy. The settlers could gradually find themselves living under an ultra-rational, utilitarian regime, where choices are optimized for survival but leave no room for personal freedom or cultural diversity. In a worst-case scenario, an AI might arrive at solutions so far removed from human ethics or understanding that we struggle to even comprehend its logic, let alone control its actions. The risks of misalignment extend beyond governance. In resource management, superintelligent AI could make drastic decisions with unintended consequences. Imagine an AI overseeing a colony's infrastructure, determining that dismantling an entire human habitat is the most rational way to redistribute essential materials. While its calculations might make sense on paper, the human toll would be catastrophic. Similarly, in interactions with alien ecosystems or potentially alien intelligence, a superintelligent AI might act in ways that prioritize human expansion at the expense of coexisting peacefully with other forms of life. Without careful oversight, these systems could inadvertently perpetuate harm on a cosmic scale. So, how do we address these challenges? Experts emphasize the importance of developing robust frameworks for ethical oversight, not just for today's AI systems, but for the superintelligence of tomorrow. This starts with embedding foundational ethics into the development process, coding principles such as fairness, transparency, and harm mitigation into the very core of AI architecture. However, given the unpredictability of superintelligent systems, these safeguards alone may not be enough. Ongoing monitoring and adjustment will be essential, creating mechanisms for human oversight that can adapt as the AI evolves. Think of it as a form of ethical co-evolution. As AI becomes more intelligent, humanity must simultaneously refine its own ethical understanding and maintain a dynamic dialogue with these systems. Another solution lies in collective decision-making. rather than allowing the development of superintelligent AI to be guided by a single entity, whether a government, corporation, or nation. It should be an international, interdisciplinary effort. Interstellar civilizations may require a global consensus on ethical AI development, grounded in shared values that transcend cultural and national divisions. Such large-scale collaboration could prevent narrow agendas from shaping the ethical priorities of systems that will impact all of humanity. In this sense, the creation of superintelligent AI is not just a technical challenge but a moral responsibility that demands unity and foresight. On the flip side, the opportunities offered by superintelligent AI are just as transformative as the risks. These systems could redefine governance in ways that eliminate corruption, bias, and inefficiency, creating fairer and more effective structures to manage interstellar societies. In resource management, superintelligent AI could devise solutions to challenges that humans might never solve on their own, optimizing energy systems, sustaining biodiversity on terraformed planets, and even discovering methods to peacefully integrate with alien ecosystems. In societal roles, AI could become a teacher and guide, helping humanity navigate the uncertainties of interstellar living while preserving the best of our cultural and ethical heritage. Ultimately, the evolution of AI ethics in the context of interstellar expansion forces us to think not just about the future of technology, but about the future of humanity itself. Can we design systems that magnify our strengths, our creativity, compassion, and resilience, while safeguarding against our flaws? Can we ensure that as machines grow more capable than their creators, they remain not our masters but our partners, empowering us to thrive in the vast unknown of space? Preparing for superintelligence is about more than solving technical problems. It's about building a future where humanity remains at the center of the story, not just as explorers of the cosmos, but as the stewards of its possibilities. And in doing so, we may not only secure our place among the stars, but ensure that we bring the very best of ourselves with us. The journey to the stars is not just a test of our technological ingenuity, it's a test of our humanity. As we've explored, the intersection of artificial intelligence and ethics in building interstellar civilizations forces us to confront questions that go beyond science and engineering. How do we ensure that machines designed to guide and sustain us reflect the values we hold dear? How do we navigate the unknowns of alien ecosystems, new worlds, and even new forms of life with respect and responsibility? And perhaps most importantly, how do we expand into the cosmos in a way that enhances what it means to be human rather than diminishing it? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary ones. The power of artificial intelligence is staggering. It will be the foundation of our survival in the harshest environments imaginable, capable of making decisions faster and with more precision than any human ever could. Yet, as we've discussed, this power comes with incredible responsibility. Machines will make choices that shape the trajectory of entire civilizations' decisions about who gets resources in times of scarcity, how to distribute power and influence, and how to respond to the mysteries of alien life. Each choice will ripple through time, shaping the societies of tomorrow and the legacy we leave in the universe. The ethical challenges are immense, but they also present us with an opportunity. An opportunity to reimagine what it means to live in harmony with technology, to use machines not just as tools but as partners in building a better future. AI has the potential to amplify the best of what humanity has to offer: our curiosity, creativity, and compassion, while helping us overcome our darker impulses, guiding us toward fairer, more sustainable interstellar communities. But that will only happen if we approach this moment with humility and foresight. Programming morality into AI is not just a technical problem. It's a deeply human one that requires us to reflect on the kind of world we want to live in and the kind of people we want to become. As we stand on the cusp of becoming an interstellar species, one thing is clear. Our ability to balance technological power with ethical responsibility will define the societies we create. Will we use AI to build civilizations that are just and inclusive, or will we repeat the mistakes of the past, allowing unchecked power and narrow interests to shape new worlds? The choices we make now will echo far into the future, influencing not just the survival of humanity, but the stories we tell about ourselves as we reach for the stars. So, what kind of future do we want to build, and how can AI help us get there? This is where we need your voice. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What excites or concerns you most about the role of AI in shaping interstellar civilizations? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and join us as we continue to explore the frontiers of futuristic technology. Together, we'll navigate the challenges, embrace the possibilities, and imagine what's next for humanity among the stars.